Hate that I do this, never feel loose. And when I get up in the game, y'all be improved. A real problem, but I solve them all face proof. And if you think I'm gon' fold, then you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. All done aside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim, boy. I've been winning for my kinfolk, and I put on for my city from the intro. Let's go.
I put that time in, my pride is out the roof, I get that grind in. So I'ma tell the truth, I get my grind on. You know the pressure make all of these diamonds. I tell them get back, step back, fast track, big lap, big facts. I'm past that, yeah. I'm trying to get ahead, get out the way. Now move forward, stand back, now break away. I'm about to bring it on.
I ain't never backing down.
Took me step up to the plate.
For my city, for my town.
I do whatever it takes.
I'ma go and get this round. I'ma go all look around. I ain't never backing down.
Took me step up to the plate.
For my city, for my town.
I do whatever it takes.
I'ma go and get this round. See the time, see the sights, see the sights, see the sights, yeah.
Hop out and I'm steaming, ride around and I'm dreaming. Once I get the feeling, nobody can stop me.
then.
Weekends, yeah, you know that I'm a star boy. My blood, sweat, and tears. I've been struggling for years. When it's all said and done, they gon' call me a legend. I love to break bread, but I'd rather break records.
Here's to a fair fight.
Prepare yourself.
Round one. Fight. Here.
Yoga.
Here. Round two. Fight. Awesome win! Round one. Fight. Here. Here.
I'm tired of playing the sidelines. Gotta make my own highlights. It's time to heat up for the fight of my life. Show 'em what I got, cause you know that it's my time. Brought till I fall, boy. Give it my all, boy. Got me feeling like I can fight them all, boy. The time has come, the bell is rung. No weekends, yeah, you know that I'm a star, boy. My blood, sweat, and tears. I've been struggling for years.
DJ,
I'm saying I'm one of a kind. They ain't build them like me. Vision myself a champion. One day I might be proud of what I see from the man in the mirror.
DJ,
A real freedom fighter, got a problem on the clear. Everybody know that I always keep it real. I fall down, I get up, I keep pushing
as I
still.
command
Recognize
the
I'm a
stick.
champion. I did it all, I'm ready for a fight when
round one. Fight.
come on.
Here I come. From me gently. Let me begin.
Round two. Fight.
Let us begin. Here I come.
Manon wins. Round one. Fight.
From me gently. Hold down.
Hey!
And Nung wins!
I've been a failure, I've been a success. I'm like a diamond, I shine under pressure. But life's been trying me, I learned all my lessons. I realize I gotta kill all my blessings. I'm working hard every day to be a better man. If practice makes me, I'm already a veteran. I suffer from defeat, so success is my legacy. Destined for greatness, so you know that I'm back again. Back on my feet after I fell down. Always ready for a fight, never back down. At this point, I'm fighting for pride, I'm fighting for life. Reputation on the line, so I'm fighting for mine. You ain't gotta really like me, but you must respect me. I'm ready for a fight when it's on, it's on. I'm charging like a bull when it's on, it's on.
Shall we, Mikey?
You call, I answer.
Round one. Fight! Good fortune. Yoga play.
check 1 2 1 2. Hey people, welcome to PlantainPapi. I'm Tabby. I'll be having my co-commentator joining soon. They are just getting elbowed, but we are now in our winner's semis of Street Fighter 6. It's been a good bracket today. We had really good turnout. It's like almost like 3 or something, which for an Oregon tournament is really good numbers. Really good numbers right here. We got PlantainPapi, my goat. Faust player extraordinaire for Guilty Gear Stride. Plain Dawson doing well so far, making it all the way into the winner's side of our top 8 versus Onabe playing Kimberly. Right now, Drive Rush is trying to close him out, dealing any extra chip and regain momentum back while in burnout, but slowly almost out of there. Good drive reversal out. Oh, and a nice check on the teleport, but couldn't find the follow-up. Here we go. Yeah, and you rezone out. Like, you're not in burnout, but you're definitely in like a slightly scary spot to versus Kimberly. And well, would you look at that? Is that my co-commentator coming up right now? Is that my goat?
Alright, if you're not a fan of the words fire, go!
If you're
Peak
not
fiction,
if you're
click
not,
off the stream.
click off the stream. Peak gaming! Peak gaming! But yeah, with me, joining me here on commentary is the wonderful First Off.
Alright.
It's been a minute since we commentated.
It's been a minute. We've been doing Street Fighter 6, and we're in winner semifinals. This is top 8, right?
Yep, so this is our top 8 side right now, and it's already early starting off right now, but a great drive impact reaction right to the counter droid, just confirm into the level 3 as well.
No, he's gonna live. Just barely.
Yeah, but you're like fighting against a Kimberly who has like, yeah.
I'm not sure about that mummy. Yeah, the mummy's a little bit overzealous, and you have so much hang time in the air. It's just like you get sniped.
If you think they're gonna do like, or you see them do like immediate spray can and you would recognize it is, there's a counterplay to it.
Sure.
But I think that was just like an automatic timing on it to like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and then they got blown up on it. Right?
I've said it many times. Dawson player is the only one really using drive reversal. Like, and it makes sense because you're a zoner, right? You want to like push him all the way back.
You're a zoner without a parry. That'd be
Ooh, level 3. Okay, we're gonna give him the Merkaba.
Yeah.
The Gomo no Gatling gun.
I actually like that just a space bomb, and you took off like so much of that drive bar gauge towards the end, forcing them to like not be able to drive rush in. They are still finding their ways and still finding like these opportunities to chip you out. Oh, this is huge.
Yeah, big punish counter. Oh, excuse me, drop the combo, but immediately drive him. You steal us, right? You steal us away. That's so unfortunate. They were mashing it too.
Yeah.
You know, like just like mashing it out of the drop combo. That's so unfortunate. Yeah. But PlantainPapi taking it.
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to do. Like you have to be pressing because on those like weird points especially, because you don't want to let a player reset you. You don't want to get into that kind of negative situation.
That's interesting. I never thought about like doing that, like in case they might drop it. But
oh, I'm always doing it. Like, at those weird like those weird
I'm always smashing.
ABC always be turned. All right.
You know, it's funny. It makes sense that PlantainPapi is playing also because, you know, play Foss.
Yeah.
It's Strive, so playing long limb character makes sense. Okay, put them in the quick in.
Yeah, and
Get
then
the knockdown.
yeah, and this is hard. Oh, what? That throw whip right there could have
Honestly,
been,
that's data.
Yeah.
It feels 1 to 3 into attack.
Yeah.
Get hit with the level 1.
Yeah, they just wanted to check level 1, expecting, like, if on reaction to drive rush or drive impact, while you're, like, at that range, it saves you a lot of bar. And so now you're going to just see Papi just, like, really spacing out right now, trying to find these mix-ups.
Good check.
Onabe has not let a single teleport go by.
And he shouldn't either because you should be covering it with a fireball and not doing it so raw.
Yeah.
And you get the forced knockdown, like the special knockdown too. And comparatively to 5, it was only off very certain buttons you would get that. But in this game, it can be off a jab, which is like huge. You get so much juggle points.
Yeah.
Ooh, not really a safe slide round start. I don't think you don't really want to come to the rushdown character that easily.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because like I think like PlantainPapi as well plays the more like aggressive zoner style, but you can see when someone in especially a game like Street Fighter is ready for that, they can really make a lot work with this corner pressure right now. Wasn't able to throw loop, but will get a big punish counter here.
And the standing fierce doing hella work. It's all things because like Kimberly has such great like walk back speed too that it's really hard for like Dawson to keep up, especially if in the corner. Corner is so like damn scary in this game.
Yeah.
Man, 2-1 is so but that's the 5, right? For top 8.
Winners semi? I actually don't know. I think they are going to figure out for themselves.
I think we're asking the question right now.
Yeah.
I can kind of hear it in the background.
I want to say it's 2 out of 3 for it's quote unquote standard tournament format. 2 out of 3.
I never know anymore. It's like it's different where you go.
So CPT rules is 3 out of 5 for
That's
the
right.
top 8, and I think a lot of Street Fighter players were asking for 3 out of 5 top 8. There are people asking for 3 out of 5 for this game. No.
It's Strive over again.
Yeah, so it is 2 out of 3. The players are disconnecting their pads. But
So
like
finals will be
winners finals, losers finals, grand finals, all going to be 3 out of 5.
As
Like,
it should.
like I mean, you were just commentating bonus round last weekend, which was all 3 out of 5. How did you feel about 3 out of 5 top 8?
It's a lot. I think certain characters become stronger, of course, when you add an extra game, a little bit extra wrinkle to the mix. Like you can probably see, like if you're fighting like a Honda, right? A Honda is a character that whittles your stamina down mentally. If you have to fight that character for 3 out of 5 times and you have it figured out by like the first few games, it's kind of a wrap.
Same with like Marissa.
Yeah, same deal, right?
Yeah. It's definitely like it's interesting because Street Fighter, like when we look at when I think of 3 out of 5 games. Like, I'm not even going to include service. I think Marvel. I think BB Tag. I think Garou. These games that you just kind of die.
Yeah, he's kind of explode.
Like
Strive, I'm willing to be a little more lenient on, but Street Fighter has yet to prove that to me.
Like you have these 2 touches with Marissa that do exist, but those are all
It's like a stars align kind of thing, right?
It's a stars aligned with 2 big counter hits, and you have to have full drive,
Level
full
3.
resources.
Yeah.
No, and in some cases it's full drive, level 3, and CA.
It can happen. And honestly, it happens a lot more than you expect. But I think people are still early games, so people probably might avoid that scenario. But still very definitely a scary character. But we're coming about winter semis-finals. Wimplo versus Mikey. Excuse me. Now Wimplo, my boy, my person who drove me here, long time like training partner and whatnot. Plays a lot of different fighting games. Plays Manon. You saying it right?
It's. If you say,
I know you're a little sticking around that a little.
If you say like Manon, like I'm not like that's what it is.
Man on.
Man on. Like you listen to the announcer, like you'll hear it when they select it. It is. Okay, they're not going to. They're
No, I'm hearing. I'm like, yo, I'm trying on the sideline.
Trying
to heat up.
Yeah, it's
for
not.
the fight.
It's not. This is you guy on TikTok that made me make that tweet that I stumbled on, who was like, I hate Manon, and it's like, shut up. That's not how it is. It's clearly y'all didn't have Muzzy growing up. That's all I'm saying. Y'all didn't have French VHS cartoon tapes available to you. But yeah, this is Mikey is a like longer time. I think they were with Gene for a bit.
Okay.
But they're like a longer time Oregon Street Fighter player, at least through when I was around and seeing them for like 5. And they're definitely like very, very solid. I don't know placements yet.
Wimplo hasn't lost any games here, of course, to get to winter semifinals, which is a big thing. He went to saying that like I'm gonna make top 8. He said that. I was like, oh, and I said careful with the hubris. He's like, is that hubris or is that confidence? And honestly, I'm eating more words a little bit right now because he's doing good and he's doing great in these anti-airs, but you're gonna watch out for the wake up EXDP. I love the parry option. I wonder how good Wimplo is against the Genrai kicks, because that's kind of a big knowledge check with Ken.
Yeah, the thing is like to get this far into the tournament, especially because I know there are a lot of Ken players who are here, you kind of have to be ready for it, right?
That's 2 medals on deck, keeping some nice space in a way. The very tip of her like standing roundhouse, filling in all the bar. Okay, yeah, that was a little bit overzealous. I like the idea. We saw that he was in burnout, so he couldn't like reverse drive impact, but he didn't have enough health.
Yeah, well, you didn't have enough health, but the other big thing is that Ken crouching jab into stand medium is like real.
Yeah.
And so you're just able to like check that into the turret combo to guarantee a 3 hit right there. Really good. There you go. Good. Just drive reversal out. I'm loving people's use of drive reversal now. Because it was something you saw really early that it wasn't getting used a lot. But especially for characters like Manon that want these kinds of situations where they can come in, get these hit grab resets right here, get those metal gauges up.
Okay, but here comes Ken. Now Ken, no slouch to the damage department. He'll come right there with the side switch. Coming down with the drive reversal, and it gets a lot of meter back. Yeah, Wimplo was so up in the meter comedy that it really would take probably like a lot more tries for Mikey to really make that back.
You would have needed that Jinrai to like counter hit or the Dragon Lash to counter hit, and then like spend all 3 bars to come back. A good level 2 just to.
But now's wake up not the best, right? So you kind of have to use that very sparsely. But,
yeah.
And so Wimplo's been very good about being smart with that in bracket.
But that also shows that you see Wimplo like not prioritizing the level 3. The level 3 like super with Manon can be very, very.
It's her X factor.
It's her dragon install, right?
It's her dragon install.
Alright, good level 3 here. I think just cash out, try to even up that damage. That doesn't. Oh, actually no, because it was CA, it burns out. Yeah, that was smart, good recognition of the meter game to know to do that. And now you're gonna blow him up with a free stun right here. You don't have the big bar to get the big damage, but you can certainly try if you have it. No.
One more scenario. Oh my god, the meeting there to air. Here comes Whippo. It could be all over here. Honestly, yeah, don't be too committal. And as I say that, jumps in. You know, I think it was more just kind of use the fear, play a nice, solid ground game. When you're low health like that, jumps become such like a liability, right? You can't force the issue. Your jumps cannot be lazy. I think it's one thing that a lot of Street Fighters will learn is like there's a difference between a lazy jump and a very like calculated jump, and you have to make your opponent look somewhere for a very long time. And that's like, you know, a crouching medium kick, for instance, all right? Yeah. That's like a layer 1 of the mental stack, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I think with, I don't know. I feel, outside of characters like Manon and like characters like Marissa, I feel like in 6 especially, you can get away with being in the air a lot, right? Like unless someone's like super on point about it, it is a very good like just like check, especially versus some of these characters like Ken who can like, unless they're ready to react to it early on, they can sometimes like have a little bit of difficulty. I think Ken has like, you know, if you can reaction DP, obviously, you can your time, but a reaction light kick into that driver hook's right there, going to be a good start.
Yeah, both Ken and Ryu have fantastic light kicks that kind of like check Manon and like some of her best friends. Great neutral jump. Good recognition on like defeating the Dragon last year. Not very easy thing. Raw Tatsu, I don't know about that. Must have been a misinput. It doesn't matter. Level 3 metal to take you out.
It's interesting in those situations as well to be like willing to take a hit out of those situations, because you saw they didn't have any Dragon to work with. If they blocked it, they were going into burnout. So it's one of those like potentially going for like a big gamble situation and try to make that big comeback right now. But right now you're stuck in Throw Loop City.
And you gave Manon another extra medal that you can carry over to the round. Now this becomes like a 3-touch scenario, I feel.
Yeah. This is that build-up that you're really like looking for as a Manon player. Yeah, quickly check. Nice jump out though from Mikey coming through.
Yeah, I think it would behoove Wimplo to maybe use those medals as like a fear factor. Not so much use like the grab portion, but like walk up and they like start like jumping frantically, right?
Yeah.
Anti-air them.
And that's like I think that's a big thing with Manon is like you are a grappler, but you're using your grab a lot. You're not using your grab like Laura uses your grab. You're using your grab like how like a Zhang uses the grab, right? Like it's the threat of the grab at this stage of the game. Good early hit right here. Final confirm onto that metal. Gonna be sitting at a pretty 5 right here, and this is where things get real scary, especially with that big punish counter.
Right now, like Wimplo is so good at keeping like opponents in the corner too. Unless you don't react to the drive impact, we can kind of push him right back. Dragon Lash in, pick him up plus frames. Okay, get the knockdown throw. Drive rush in.
Yeah, and then just like staggering with the Genrai kicks right there, and you can see like Wimplo really respecting them and not trying to get too much. But
yum yum yum, grab. Sorry, I had to beat to it.
Ice cream so good, getting tossed into the corner right here. Tries to hit up the standing fears, but I actually really like that. Just the like up back, like you're gonna do something from that distance. If you try to Dragon Lash, I'll be able to like escape out of it. I'm not gonna have to be because at that distance due to the like travel time, I think you jump higher.
Yeah, and I used to call it like the jumping castle technique, right? Like you become a fortress, right? In terms of just like you neutral jump and you land with a button, and it's hard to really defeat when you don't have that much health. If you make a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, punish counter, standing roundhouse into big damage, and the corner carrying Ken is amazing.
Ridiculous, someone say. Right? You look at that. Already getting right back in there with another just quick drive rushing DP from trying to hold them down. Ooh. Almost got the side swap, but instead kept it on the same side. Very impressive stuff from Mikey.
A lot of people aren't really getting like the cross cuts ready, but catching the landing frames, I'll take that. And you also take a perfect KO.
Yeah. And that's a good spot to be as well. Only spending a bar for it as well. In this game, just meters so interesting in this game, right? Because you're not having to be spending on those EX normals with the fact that OD exists.
Right.
And so being able to just like cash out these level 1s early and then being able to build back up with your high level stuff is always going to be super beneficial. Great perfect parry. This is going to be the starter that they're looking for to just get that corner carry, not trying to get that extra scaling.
I mean, I have to let you know the Wimpo is also a Guilty Gear player. So wake up throw is definitely not off the table. I feel like in his game plan.
Yeah, now that you say that, now I'm looking for. I'm ready.
We've seen it a couple times already, right?
There we go. Good back roll, yeah, and then just alpha counters out right there.
I think the perfect way to do it too, because that's what Dragon Lash is used for, is resetting and getting more plus frame. Knockdown, not ready for the drive, impact. All right, you probably have one more chance here. Wake up, super ain't gonna be it though.
Yeah, wake up level 2, like. I feel like in that situation, if you're gonna do wake up super, you should do wake up level 3.
Yeah, if you're gonna go big.
If you're gonna go big or go home, try to make the comeback that you're looking for. Be a real Kim Kardashian. Like it's gonna be more beneficial for you to do the level 3 and like get that extra damage as well. And because you saw Mikey was like, okay, they're gonna do reversal. They're gonna do reversal super.
Yeah. And
was just willing to just like down back. Like they were holding that flash game great. And if you did the reversal grab, you were gonna blow them up for it. You're gonna be able to sneak back a game that you would have lost essentially.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say in those situations too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I do like what Wimpo was doing very early game, but it really seemed like maybe like committed too wholeheartedly in a couple different positions, and Ken doesn't let you make that many mistakes.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing in this matchup. But for context, these are two characters that I put the most time into in this game, right? Like, and Manon, when you get to a level where you're quote unquote playing Street Fighter 6, right? You have to make a lot more committal decisions on your button presses. You're not able to be as like, oh, I'm just gonna do this thing, and if it doesn't work out, I'll be fine. Your opponents are gonna be ready for it, and they're gonna be ready to blow you up for it. So that is where you're gonna see Ken players really excel, because if they got the player read on you, and they're like, okay, I know what you're trying to do. Like you saw towards the end of this game, every single turret combo hit into the strike throw mix. The like 5H5H.
Right.
Mikey didn't get blown up by. Like I think they got hit by one grab out of it, and everything else they were blocking the lows or jumping out of the grabs, and they just had the right reads minus like one situation.
Yeah, and it's hard to kind of deal with characters like Ken because even though like your frontal cortex is loaded, your brain is loaded with a lot of information. But what makes the top tiers do in this game is they add to that. They add to like the idea of the mental stack, because Ken is so kitted out in this game. Like you have Jinrai with a billion follow-ups. I mean, or so many strengths, right? Yeah. Combination with Dragon Lash. You have run cancels. You have in combination with Fireball and Drive Rush, which is not like a freeway in, but it definitely plays a lot of neutral for you. It's definitely a neutral skip for sure. So and that's what a lot of top tiers can do, is they can like front load your opponent in addition to just neutral skipping. Like I said it before, true footsies are a myth. They do not exist. Fabricated by the man.
Yeah, footsies was a myth made up by the white man to keep you down.
Which way, Western man?
Yeah, it's weird. Like on that, like people like call this like a footsies game, and it very much is.
Like punish counter is directly like indicative of that. For sure.
And I think just also with the emphasis on more grounded gameplay, right? Like you're not trying to despite the amount of times you're going to see someone go into the air, especially with a character like Kimberly, and try to do some sort of shenanigans, her core game plan is still set on the ground. It's still pressing buttons and just trying to condition your opponent into like making incorrect decisions to blow them up. But here we are into our winners finals now. So this is 3 out of 5.
Yeah, Mike's getting no breaks. You're going to go directly into it. So you'll be a little bit more warmed up. But are you ready to stop Kimberly's pressure? Now, Kimberly has a lot of like gaps in her like run cancel strings. So you really have to condition your opponent like correctly. And so far, Mike's doing a great job of just checking that. And okay, about to say like it's pretty hard to actually anti-air jump fierce with Ken. He's a little bit less than like the jumping department. Like, you're about to get blessed with some damage. Not as much damage as I thought, but, take the throw, get the knockdown.
Honestly, at this stage of the game in a 3 out of 5, I think it's better to go for the throw reset, right? Now you're able to condition out your opponent to, like, be looking up for that and then get even bigger rewards on those punish counters. But you saw that Onabe found a great driving impact in, but a perfect parry comes through.
That is absolutely huge. Mike Z playing out of his mind right now, drive impact, but Onabe answers in a big way with the level 1. Even up the life situation, drive gauge definitely on Onabe's side, and he uses it well to get an OD overhead.
Yeah, so being able to save that OD because with the perma parry instead of going for the drive attack counter on it, then allowing you that OD reset. That was dirty.
That was an amazing reset. Yeah, I'm really liking like the death by 1,000 cuts game plan.
I mean, that's what Kimberly does. Like, that's what Guy did. That's what Zeku did, you know, in 5. Like, that's sort of the Bujin, whatever.
Bujin Ryu.
Bujin Ryu. Thank you. I couldn't remember. Like, the ninja character. That's what I always call him. Like,
The fake martial art.
like, that's what those characters want to be doing, right? And I think Kimberly does a very good job of how Onabe's playing as well. Is indicative of that game style. And you can see Mikey was doing a really good job just constantly spacing them out and now being rewarded with
Empty jump low. It works 100% of the time.
60% of the time, it works every time. All right, yeah, but the drive rush lows right there, the blue stretch making kicks are always like difficult to deal with just across the board. You get a good Kimberly level 3 out of it, you're gonna be installed out for the rest of it. That it's gonna be a rough.
Yeah, it's looking all up on Onabe's side here. It's gonna really be about patience here. That's not patience, but it somehow paid off here. I guess like you're a Kimberly player, you might expect it to hold forward, and you just get bopped for it.
You know, there is a bit of patience to that. I'm gonna disagree with you because they
A
were
little bit of delay button.
they were like, oh, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna like see what you're gonna do, and you're like, oh, you're just gonna do walk up. That's it. You're not gonna try to do any weird.
You're not doing any shenanigans,
You're
right?
not gonna do any.
No, I get you. I
shimmies.
get you.
I'm gonna respect you so much by doing a drive impact here after that crouching light kick at the end of that last round, and now forcing you to take that frame kill. But you will end up getting your turn back here for Onabe with throw, getting a good punish.
Okay, giving onus right here. Level 1. Honestly, the reactions have been really on Onabe's side. Playing classic controls doesn't mean you can't have modern reactions. Oh my god. Speaking of godlike, though, we're going to get full damage. You go right into the level 1. Mike Z, even though on the back foot, is not deterred. We saw it last round where they were like down like a pixel of health, and they were still able to make these comebacks. And honestly, having good clutch like a player like Mike Z pays off in a big way. It's already paying off right now with momentum.
Oh, but they missed the walk-up throw right there on that throw loop. So now that gave Onabe a big chance to make huge spot out. Oh, EX Tatsu trying to like use that as like a dive kick, and Onabe was just able to really change it, and now getting more good rewards. But this level 1 gets blocked.
You thought anything I could do, you can do better. Well, think again, because now Onabe is taking the turn, getting the spray can down just in time to get the Bushin.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh my god, Onabe's resets are so good. I'll just I'm never ready for the overhead. I'm always getting hit. And like
it takes a lot to get to that point, though. You're seeing like all these lows that off the rip that Onabe is placing first, really trying to make your opponent look for an intent that's not there.
Yeah. Okay, good jab, checks right there into the Jin Rai, just trying to stay closer, trying to keep that up, but good. Air to air out. Now we're getting back into the mid-screen. These standing light punches.
Fantastic place of the buttons.
These standing light punches from Mikey are so good.
Yeah, honestly, and when I'm seeing all these drive impacts later on, oh, and the side switch too, I got to give some credit to Onabe, but also some credit to Mike Z for just letting it rip on the level 1.
Good use of the teleport jump in there, knowing that Mikey had to just respect it. If they try to challenge it, you were going to be able to blow him up for. But I didn't get the big confirm.
We matched level 3. We did. We absolutely did. Okay.
ABM.
We do it live.
ABM.
ABM.
Always be mashed.
You stole that from me.
Right.
Look what you're doing to me. Look
doing a lot.
look what Onabe is doing to Mike Z.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and now that's Onabe up. Is that 1-1? Is that? We had a game before this, at least you don't remember because these games are. It's 1-1. It's 1-1 right now on the set. These games are going too quick. There's too much happening, too much excitement. I can't keep up with Street Fighter 6, but I can keep up with this throw that came through because I didn't detect that at all. And oh my goodness, Mike's just getting thrown to their own.
Ooh, no, classic. Yeah, classic conditioning coming up from Onabe too. Throw them twice, shimmy them. Oh, and the interception with the DP. Oh, sorry, Tatsu. That's unfortunate.
Not getting the big connect that they're looking for, but will actually end up escaping out as Mikey was wanting that throw set once again. And Onabe's on point with this, you know. I don't know if they're labbing that new throw tech OS that people were like discovering, but
Mikey not really to be deterred here. Been having great spacing out of like Kimberly's normals. Not like the longest in the game here. EX2. Oh my god. Yeah, some optimal play coming out from Mikey here. This is a pretty damn competitive game for this Winter Finals.
Yeah, I mean, like, these people have slogged through, like, this is, I think, the biggest Street Fighter 6 tournament we've had in Portland so far. Like, 60.
You'll love to see it.
It's great, but that's the kind of killer you're going to have to be to get through this, and just like a kind of killer you're going to have to be to get a great, perfect parry on that, even with that solid confirm.
Yeah, not the easiest thing to do on the drive-in, the elbow drop there, but wow, just keeping up the pressure, denying all defensive options, and also denying probably a continuation through this bracket, potentially, the way you're playing. Oh, and gets a non-smack. It is enough, too. I thought we needed the extra DPs.
Yeah, I think what really benefited is that the recognition and like, hey, if I drive impact here, you actually go into burnout. So
Burnout sucks.
Burnout does suck, but it's something that you have to do, or you have to just accept might be a reality of the situation. So even if that didn't kill, you're looking at Mikey with a life lead with an OD lead and a huge damage lead after like an initial early burnout. So it's definitely a hard situation, but a good counter hit. H-Dragon Lash now bringing them that full corner carry that they're looking for. And Onabe just wants to play that with the game. He wants to try to keep it a little bit more calm, but Mikey keeping up the craziness.
Yeah, the footsies are definitely on the side of Mikey. Continue the pressure there with the EX Hadoken.
There we go. Oh, but we'll get and getting the punish counter throw on there. And forcing the overhead block right there on reaction to actually force him into burnout.
You don't have a way to deal with that mix-up now when you're in burnout, and you don't have a way to deal with this overhead situation. Yeah, honestly, Kimberly's gameplay, like so many characters, becomes a lot more lethal in burnout because you don't have the all block in parry, right?
But we've seen Mikey's super reaction has been so on point.
And as you say that, it comes to fruition. Tabby Nostradamus out here.
Yeah, and like that's a big thing. It's like, oh, I'm in burnout, but you still have ways to deal with what you're looking for. Drive impact with them.
We talked about spacing earlier, right?
Yeah.
The Mike Z stands well aware, kind of underneath like the center there on the clock.
Yeah.
Waits for an option. He waits for slide. Waits for drive impact. Like the presence of mind is just there.
Yeah, like you said, they're standing right at that 12 o'clock position, waiting for midnight to strike to get those punishes that you're looking for. But Onabe is instead turning the clocks backwards. It's daylight savings, but Mike C says, no, we passed that bill. You don't get to go forward an hour anymore. Hold this quarter, but level 3.
Level 3, not going to work out. Yeah, and I think Mike Z is saying, you're on borrowed time now. I'm going to steal some health in the process. Okay, grab Are.
Yeah. Saying TikTok, your life's going down, but Mikey wants to quickly just reset that, saying you're not that Grim Reaper coming through. Good throw tech out from both players now, just trying to really keep it going, but the drive impact.
Okay, yeah, Kimberly has a very go-to option on air drive impact too. It could be a little finicky to kind of combo off of, but good stuff on Onabe too. Going low this time, we saw so many overheads. These wild Tatsus.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the logic, because I think you see a lot of those Tatsus versus fireball characters trying to check out the close range, especially versus like a Jury. Like sometimes that ends up working out for you. But Onabe hasn't really done anything to show like that's worthy of using a Tatsu to punish that distance.
Especially in this matchup here. Okay, gets the run in your face. Ooh, and the walk back knew exactly for the option that Onabe wanted to go for. When Mike sees making up this damage incredibly fast, you use the run cancel to continue the pressure. No crosscut DP. I mean, people need to get these down. You're giving away free pressure, free damage. And the fuzzy, did you see that?
Unfortunately, I did. Because that was nasty. Nasty.
How that?
You gotta watch. It goes great jump out though on that drive impact at the time, trying to stun to take that quarter out. But instead, you're getting this big punish into that level 3 right here, not the stage, just slightly outside of it. But it still kills.
It absolutely does kill as Mikey goes over Onabe here in the winter finals to move on to Grands, which means we will go down to the Shark Tank. That is Losers Finals to see people fight for their life here, and I'm curious to see who gets to fight this great Ken here at PDX FGC.
Yeah. For those of you, I don't know if we have a Discord command. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I just don't remember everything that's on the stream. But if you're like watching the stream and you happen to be in the Portland area, or you honestly the Pacific Northwest, and you're like, man, this is cool. I want to meet some cool people. Check out the Twitter. We have like links to the Discord and everything.
Yeah. My first time here.
Is it really your first time?
I've never actually been to this venue before.
Wow, I'm surprised. Like I thought you had been here, like back like pre-pandemic and all that.
No, I've never I think had a chance to. But it's awesome. This kind of reminds me of Gamers Haven a little bit, of course. Card shop, whatnot.
Yeah, it's card shop. I like. So here's the thing: is like I like the bigger like quote unquote esports events. I like the bigger scenes. They have their own like flair to it.
Sure.
But I also love the just like we're going to get 5 people together, and we're going to try to make as many games happen possible in like 12 hours.
I mean, we played Garou today.
We played Garou. We had 2 Exerd brackets. We had Exerd Beginner. I'm using the biggest air quotes.
Exerd still lives. Awesome.
Like we had Blazblue happening here, and then Granblue was the last game of it, which is the smallest of them all. But there's like they rotate through games here, so
I love it.
6 and like Strive are generally going to always be here because like the big games. But like we've had Tekken in the past. We've had multiple type Lumina, Persona, Under Night. Trying to think of other games.
It's like a build it, they will come kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like hey, do you have people who want to like roll up and like show their game? Then
and only $1 too.
Yeah, for some of the smaller games like the Extra Beginner bracket and for like our Garou bracket, it was only $1. And that's just an incentive to get people to at least like look at those games and get them to try to come out and really support them. Which it works. Like, I mean, our Exert Beginner bracket had like 20 people.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we talked about it earlier about how there's a new generation of Zoomer expert players.
Yeah. So for those of you who may have like came in through Strive and don't like haven't seen a lot of it, there's the people who stuck with Exert were really like it was sort of the older crowd.
Right.
And for plus R for those players as well. Where we were playing, back before it was like we only get to play with our 30 people offline once every quarter. It was really just like these like older people who were diehards for it and really playing it. But with rollback coming out and really pushing that, there's a lot of like newer, younger people coming into these scenes playing these legacy games and doing really well with them. Like there are some legacy for like these like up and coming, I call them Zoomers, right? That's what they are. They're a bunch of children.
Call it like it is, right?
I do be saying it like it do, and they're like killing it. They're making, for Exerd, for example, just out of context, making it out of pools is basically like winning a small regional at a major. Like the level of talent is that high.
Yeah, I think someone said it best. It's just like fighting a regional is sometimes harder than fighting a major. And there's evidence behind that because you're fighting people that you know, that know you, and so that becomes a lot harder. You can't like pull out some cheese or pull out some of these personal litmus tests that you use, right?
Yeah, you have your gimmicks, you have your bag of tricks that you use that, like, oh, this bag of tricks may work against, like, these people, but you're going to have to, like, adapt and figure out and overcome on a larger
That makes you stronger, though. Like, if you're able to overcome those kind of situations, even with people that know you, that's like a huge level up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that we say the people who are generally best at the game are the people who can go to any event and win it. Right? Like,
yeah, definitely easier said than done. I mean, how long we've been playing fighting games, and this is why we're up here. not to bring us down here, but like it's. No, what I'm saying is I'm agreeing with you. Yeah,
it's hard. Fun fact: fighting games are hard, regardless of whatever a Twitter influencer wants to say something for the day. Fighting games are difficult.
They're difficult, but they're hella fun to figure out. Like and there's so many games to figure out too. And if you're I'm not adding to any discourse. Just a disclaimer here. If you're not enjoying a game and figuring out the problems within that game, the game's probably not for you. And it's okay to admit to yourself to that because there are a ton of games, and I guarantee you there is one that you'll have fun solving those problems.
And I also really want to stress, because this is something I see a lot. If you spent $60 on the game, you spent your time with it, and you enjoyed your time, but you realized it wasn't.
Did you have fun though?
But I mean, some people didn't. But I think the people who aren't having fun are the people who usually find that out in 2 hours really quickly. This ain't for me.
That's why there's Steam.
Steam refund. Yeah. But like, if you played this game for 40, 60, so I know some people put like 100 hours in the first one for this game, and then they're like, yeah, it's not for me. Just,
I think that's fair too, because I think I've said this a lot with games in the past, that there is a certain threshold that people give up on. It's like that one where the guy's mining for diamonds and he gives up before he breaks it big. That's true for a lot of fighting games. Like people give up before they get to the point of, I call, learning, where they can teach themselves how to solve issues.
Exerd. I'll use Exerd as an example for myself. It took me 100 hours of playing Exerd to, like, I have it on Steam. It was like right around the 100-hour mark of me playing the game to go, oh, I get it.
Oh, you get it. I get it now.
I get it, and I'm like starting the flow, and now I'm able to I play solidly. I don't think I'm great, but I'm able to hold my own against the people who aren't at that level.
You're having more fun with it.
But I'm having fun. I'm like going through the process of it, and Street Fighter is a game. If you vibe with this game, this is like this is my stuff right here. Street Fighter, I think, 6 is the best game to just teach yourself how to actually play it with all the like wonderful tools that are just built into the game and stuff like that. Training mode is like.
For the people who like this game, will love it, and because it is definitely every different fighting game has a different kind of flavor to it, and you can't expect the next game to be like the last game. So you have to accept this is the way the game is. Everything in the game is fair, because it's fair in the sense that it exists, right? Like you have to learn to deal with what's in the game, and if you're just not willing to deal with it, then I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there's tons of other games. And I implore you, try every fighting game that comes out. Yeah. I know that's a lot to ask, but you never know what you're missing out on. Well,
and you also don't know, especially because there are a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm not a Street Fighter player. I'm not a Tekken player.
But you don't know that yet if you haven't tried it. Yeah.
Well, even with people like, I played Tekken 7 and I thought it sucked. I have bad opinions on the internet.
Person who didn't play Tekken 7.
Person who didn't play Tekken 7. But like if you're like, yeah, I played Tekken 7, I didn't like it. You're gonna like the next games and franchises are gonna be a little different. They might change something on a systems level or even just like gameplay flow level that does make it you like it. And also it like sometimes it's just your mindset. Like for a lot of people, it's like there's a lot of people who are for this game who are like, traditionally I'm not a Street Fighter player. That's not the game I like. And I'm like, well, when was the last time you played Street Fighter? Like, 5 launch. And I'm like, oh, so 8 years ago.
Yeah, a lot has changed.
A lot has changed in Street Fighter. Well, but also a lot has changed in that player. You've been playing fighting games since that time forward.
I think it's said that in 7 years, all your cells are technically replaced. So you are physically not the same person anymore, and that means mentally.
You're now perfect cell. You're going in the arena going, ah!
Yeah, I mean, I think, taking breaks is also important. Sometimes it makes you better, right? Because you can kind of clarify about like, oh, I understand why I wasn't vibing with something, but now I might be able to. And to that, I say Street Fighter 6 is actually a good game and not just a good fighting game either, because 5 had the issue of not being a good game to bring people in. It was fundamentally built to be for esports.
I mean, 6 is very much that as well. Like if you look at the core gameplay, the core multiplayer portion, the ranked grind system, how the systems are interacting.
Netcode and whatnot.
The great rollback netcode when you're actually able to queue against people that live outside your region. It is a generally like a really good experience for us in franchise fighting game players. But if you're like, if you're like, man, I want my friends to play fighting games, you show them Street Fighter 6 and you're like, hey, this is a Yakuza game.
Yes, it's Yakuza Light.
With the World Tour mode, it's like, hey, this is like a fun single-player game that you can play. You can make your own custom fighting game.
I gush about fluffy stuff in my fighting games or in games in general. Like even having the hub, and they give you the option too. If you don't want to engage with the hub, that's fine. You can just rank up on a menu, and that's great because a lot of people want that. But I love having the vibe of just having an avatar character running around the cabs and doing all these silly emotes, making these homunculi and whatnot. Which is very uncommon, I think, for Japanese developers to do.
Yeah, I mean, Capcom, for at least Capcom's fighting game division, some of their like non-fighting game division as well, has generally been very like global thinking, very forward thinking in a lot of their designs. So like, I mean, like you look at like 5. 5 was like the first, or no, Cross Tekken had rollback, right? No, was that rollback? I thought
I know. Well, 5 had like the one-sided rollback.
Well, but the 5 was at least like. Was the first big Japanese fighting game developer to be like, yeah, this is necessary.
I'm curious about the Cross Tekken thing. I couldn't exactly tell you.
I feel like Cross Tekken. I know MVCI does.
MVCI 100% did.
Yeah, and it has.
People don't talk about it, but that's another story.
But like Capcom's been very forward thinking about like, hey, we need to make our games not just for Johnny Donuts who's gonna buy every fighting game, right? Like, if you make your fighting games to appeal to just your core audience, your sales growth is done.
No, right? A lot of the sales come from casuals, and you need to pull them in. And I think we're still waiting for some people to come up. But I think the best quote I've heard is, "Today's beginners is tomorrow's enthusiasts."
Yeah, exactly. And you have to provide those tools to get the beginners in. Because, like, we're waiting for one of our players, Pericles, who's currently playing Granblue.
Oh, Isaiah Ibonic Plague is over there playing Narmaya. Of course he is.
No. Wait. Isaiah likes Granblue? I never would have guessed.
I never would have guessed either.
Who would have thought? I was like, maybe I should just try to commentate this game. But Granblue is another game that had a lot of really good single player content. Like, it has that full like story mode that's built into the game. It's got a lot of like versus AI content, and then with Granblue Rising that's coming out. Like,
oh yeah, speaking of fluffy stuff, I think
Fall Guys and Granblue.
Yeah, Fall Guys and like the Rocket League Lite kind of.
Yeah.
That is the genius idea. I don't care who you are. That is a fantastic way. Make like these kind of clones of other games to put in your fighting games. That's definitely gonna get. You don't understand how much those games sell.
Yeah, and it's be like, oh, like especially Granblue, which is a very very popular IP. You can be like, oh, there's this fun casual fighting game, and then you have Fall Guys in the game. Like,
bro, if like Among Us. Like, if Granblue Among Us existed?
Dude, if Granblue Among Us existed, I would scream. I
don't know how you would do it, but if you did it, like, you understand, like, that would just sell.
Yeah. Because you could just be like, oh, yeah, it's the funny Granblue game, and then there's also a really good
Holy goddamn! You can't see this, but that was Pericles did the goddamn whiff punish of a god. I'm, like, actually stunned. That was fantastic.
Go to Twitch.tv. Keep this tab open. Street Fighter 6 is coming soon.
Excuse my French, but that was. I mean, Isaiah doing very good about like putting the pressure on it. I've been seeing like he's a fantastic commentator of this game, fantastic player of this game in general. But Pericles playing like Diva, which has been notoriously kind of dumbed down in the later version of this game, from what I understand.
So here's the thing you have to remember about Pericles, right? Pericles is like generally has a very very good like fundamentals in fighting games because they are they're one that like I don't know if you know this for Exerd. Pericles like known like very good Exerd player, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't own a copy of the game for like 20 years.
Oh, he's just like me for real.
Like he was just labbing it and like playing it at casual sessions and improving through there.
I definitely have been there in the past playing arcade with a lot of other fighting games because I didn't have a PS4 for a very long time because I was poor. So I would play. I played Exerd, Street Fighter, and Killer Instinct because I wasn't going to buy an Xbox, right? So I play a lot of those games and learned them arcade style and went out. And so I got to give mad props to Pericles if he's learned that way and made it all the way to Losers Quarters Finals in Granblue.
Yeah, and Ladiva / Festiva is like a good character for that. Just being like the grappler, and also you have like we have one.
Not too much maintenance, right?
It's not maintenance. She does have like some very like particular things, but Granblue is not a hyper complex game.
She rewards your fundamentals.
Hey, people watching the Street Fighter 6 stream. Did you have issues with Street Fighter, but you still like that sort of core footsies kind of gameplay? Check out Granblue.
What a pipeline. No, I absolutely agree. I think a lot of people that have wanted a more grounded footsie style of like fighting game have found it in Granblue because it still has that anime coat of paint onto it. So if you kind of there's a lot of pipelines for some fighting game players, and I think Granblue has made that circle back around just in time for Rising to come out. So expect Rising, I think, to pop off in a big way, even if you think like, oh, I've seen this game before, but you haven't, I think, seen it at its like peak, and we're going to get to quite a peak because it was unfortunate with COVID. COVID kind of stifled a great game overall.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as an Undernight player, I'm well aware.
Pouring out.
Pour one out.
You go.
UD2 just a week away.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
UD2 just in a week. Woohoo! I'm so excited about
this.
Yeah, like it really sucked for Granblue to just like kind of get like blown over by a global pandemic shutting everything down. But I have to give big props to people. I'll tag Ebonic Plague in this. I'll tag Zombie Moo. I'll tag like Shuabu and Rowlett and like a lot of people who put in work on the community side of things for Granblue to keep that game alive during the pandemic. To eventually lead to I don't remember the like Granblue Netplay World Championships that they did, where they had they basically had a bunch of like regional tournaments that led into a qualifier that eventually led into like a grand NA like tournament with a large prize sum. It was
it's backed by a lot of huge companies, side games and whatnot. There's a lot of like
small indie developer side games.
There's a lot of power behind it for sure. And so I really hope that we see that game thrive for sure. Also going to give a shout out for like DNF Duel, which also has a lot of support from a big company. I know that game has been under pressure a little bit, but I really hope to see that game flower into something great.
Yeah, I mean, I had to go on support from its big company because that DLC cycle and that patch cycle.
It's not the best.
It was not best, and I say this as a.
But every fighting game deserves to be great.
Every fighting game deserves to be great if you can make it happen. And I think for for DNF as well. If you play DNF and you're like, man, I didn't like this. The game is
The
entirely
character's just so sick.
It's sick. It's godlike. DNF sick.
Like, if you like Garou, there's kind of like a pseudo Garou mechanic I think they just got put in, right?
Yeah, so with DNF, the new big mechanic.
Cubes.
Oh, there's 3 big mechanics. There was cubes, which basically give you like different passives in your awakening state. Excuse me. There's and then there's IS, or Indomitable Spirit, which is it's a push block question mark, but not it's a non-push block.
Is it an insta block push block?
It's an instant block, but it's done with like a push block like input.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah. What's up?
What's poppin'? How'd you do? I don't know.
I've not seen that camera turn on to us at all. So.
He's gonna.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mr.
Mystery Sports. This is presence behind us here. Oh, we do it on stream? Hell yeah, brother. Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you're unstoppable.
Yeah, same.
No, that was not the every bracket except for Ultimate Singles.
Oh my goodness.
And Exert.
Oh, hell yeah.
What are you giving him?
No, I wanted to open up a pack of FFTCG with my boy.
Gambling, let's go. The hobby.
So what we got? Is there a card trick in this game? I don't remember. Is there a card trick in this game?
No,
Like,
it's not like Pokemon.
Okay.
It's just like in the back. I'm pretty. Yeah.
I should know this. I've opened boxes this game.
Your foil and your heroic.
Oh, you can keep it. It's for you, buddy. It's for you. I believe it.
1 or 2, maybe 3.
We got.
Let me see what you got. Let me see what you
Shit.
got.
No, we got the chat Sid. All right.
We got.
Oh shit. Okay.
We got Fang from Final
Oh, we got
Fantasy 13.
Garugamesh.
This card's cracked. I believe you. I believe you. We got Yuri from Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. We got Narine from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, one of the mobile games. We've got Maria from Dissidia Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 2. We got Leon, not from Resident Evil, from Dissidia Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 2. No, it's Leon. Not Squall. It would say Squall if it was Squall. I'm well aware.
There definitely is a generation of people that think that for sure.
This is welcome to me reading out card names with no camera, and they can't see anything that's going on. But we got Garugamesh as their foil. And we got Garou. I'm unemployed, so I'm just doing whatever. But yeah, we are now here, finally getting Pericles off the Granblue sticks and going to round out our rest of our losing bracket that we're going to get into. PlantainPapi Jack, who is they were primarily a Smash Ultimate player before, if I remember correctly. I mostly play them in Under Night, where they play Nika.
It's a lot of like different games, huh?
Yeah, a lot of different games. I think they sort of transitioned over from a Smash to a full FGC pipeline kind of thing.
I mean, that's usually kind of how it goes, too. I think this game is very friendly for people to kind of get into.
Oh, yeah.
But ain't nothing friendly right now about Pericles taking it to Paprika Jack, and that's not going to do any favors with the wake up EXDP because take how rip with damage.
Yeah, and I'm just going to be completely keeping that pressure up as well. Paprika Jack trying to find these opportunities to get out. Pericles starting off with a perfect here.
That's a pretty strong thing, too. We saw Pericles just whoop some ass in Granblue, and now doing the same here in Street Fighter 6.
And you can see they're just trying to shimmy. Like like I said, they're trying to use that like fundamentals that they have that we were able to at least see on the Granblue side of things.
It wasn't really, going from a D with a Kim, it wasn't something I quite expected, I think so. But, I'm already kind of seeing these jumps have been pretty on point. All right, going to reset the pressure here. Freaking Jack not ready. I think we're kind of getting warmed up. We kind of had a big break in between, so I think we're still trying to get like confidence in our combos here.
Yeah. And now you're having to hold the confidence in these throw loops. Still ending up trying to check them low a lot. Drive reversal does get blocked, and it's going to be a big punish counter. Should be able to enter the level. No, doesn't, but reversal 3?
Okay, we're just gonna reverse the whole thing with a level 3.
Yeah.
Gonna give you some time to get some drive gauge back in the process, which is probably one of the more important things I feel to help the amount of comeback.
Oh, and they missed the drive rush input right there, so they weren't able to regain control of that neutral, even with a whiff press from Heracles right there. Paprika Jack really trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, no sudden movements. You don't want to take any big risks here. Okay, they're gonna get thrown with the EX smoke.
That's going to be Pericles up 1 right there. You know, I'm not... Like, I think Paprika Jack has the right ideas of, like, what they're looking for, but you see that it just doesn't seem like they're fully confident in their decisions. Pericles really taking those hesitations to the fullest effect, just like that, finding a great opportunity to get the reversal drive impact.
I think that was a great situation right there of how they both used drive impact. One used it in a panic scenario on defense, which was very like obvious, where the application that came out from Heracles snuff out Dragon Lash, which you can't have any cancels off of.
Yeah.
Perfect execution, just like perfect execution right there at the end of the combo. Heracles looking so strong.
Yeah, we'll have to see if like Paprika Jack can make a big decision right now. I think they're really just trying to sort of suss out Heracles, but finding great opportunities with these slide kicks, with you know, just a lot of the really good Kimberly tools. But we also see that Heracles is not getting these super big confirms, just finding knockdown into mix, but Paprika Jack found a good chance to roll out.
Dragon Lash once again. Oh yeah, we saw a little bit of delay on the defense there, before they dropped it. That's exactly not the drop you want to see though from Paprika Jack. Paprika's gonna take that all day and get restore on the spray can there, which means it's kind of telling what's coming up next. As we say it, chucks it right out of there. You did not respect the pressure.
Yeah. But as Pericles, you have to be careful right here, right? Like, 2 wrong decisions, basically you're out of the game. If Paprika Jack is able to find that raw CA confirm right here, and now you're in a very dangerous situation. If you make one gap and they get one right reversal, it could be over for you here. So you see them just back off the end, like, yep, I got 45 seconds. I got all the time in the world.
Catching the teleport there, drive impact. This is huge. Paprika Jack, okay, staying alive here in this this round. I got to give it to him. I thought it was definitely skewed on one side, but Paprika Jack, you know, proving me wrong. I love to see it.
Yeah, finally found that opportunity to really take control of the game. Good use of those jumping normals right there to counteract the drive impact that Paprika Jack was looking for.
Yeah, and these block restriction things that like Paprika Jack is a good way just to push out Kimberly. And, you know, you should just run back in and get hit with another level 3.
You call mashing reversals a martial art? As long as it works.
As long as it works. And it's definitely working out here for Paprika Jack, just like the drive impact is as well. Okay, I'm loving the checks here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, did not get the anti-air, but Heracles gonna spend maybe a little bit too much bar. Okay, the execution, unfortunately, not there, but we're definitely not missing this level 3. We're just gonna do it raw, gonna hit it raw here. Not gonna kill, but I think we're gonna burn out.
Yeah, it should burn out.
Absolutely. Holy good God, raw level 3 took a lot of damage. It was CA. So, I mean, that makes sense. Still stunned me. Insane. You know, the damage scaling in this game is so odd.
It's so weird. Like, I think it's just because I'm used to Street Fighter traditionally having more like a guts system.
Sure. Like,
Like,
there's no guts in this game.
There's no guts in this game. It's just raw health values and mostly universal health values. There's, you know, a couple, like...
There's a few outliers.
Yeah, a few outliers.
Eve, Marisa,
But
Honda.
but it's only high outliers. It's not low outliers, which is different than...
Until Akuma comes in. Unless... that is the big question, right? Will Akuma be natural? Be all natural in the health department?
I remember, so like Seijin put out like a tweet that was like a month ago or a couple weeks ago. I read Times of Blur. That was like, hey, you know, wouldn't it be funny if Akuma came out with 8,000 health,
like 6 drive gauge?
but had 9 drive gauge instead of 6?
That'd be so funny.
It'd be funny. It'd be one of like that, and that's like something that's like, oh, I didn't even consider them doing that.
But they could definitely mess with the drive gauge economy with certain characters, which means I think, and probably with certain meter gain too. So like, say if Elena gets in this game, right? She has to. I think they're going to definitely reduce her normal meter gauge, like consumption, but maybe increase her just normal drive gauge so she can focus and not be like a lame healing kind of character like she does in 4.
Yeah, with how quickly you gain meter, and if they made her like, because level 3s I think they have to be like reversal supers. I think that's sort of like the
level
plan
2s are utility.
Yeah, so if you're making your level 2, which you gain meter faster than here sometimes. I feel like. I mean, look at who's the game designer on this game.
It really depends. There is, you get it from attacking and blocking, and there is when it comes to drive gauge, there is kind of like a pulse, kind of like Guilty Gear, where you do gain your drive gauge back faster if you're moving forward, but not so if you're going backwards or just neutral jumping over and over again.
Yeah, and then like within Burnout, obviously, you also gain it faster via blocking.
Except Geef.
Really?
Geef is like 10 frames difference in all the characters.
That's gotta be a bug.
People have suspected it is a bug, but yeah, they have done it side by side. And like, Geef doesn't need that already, as much as he's been kind of hurting.
That has to, like, that's gotta have like 6 legs and an exoskeleton. Like, that can't be like intended for the game.
We'll see. We'll see how far we go along, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're one major down, right? We had CEO.
Evo coming up here very soon. 10K people entered in that. I pray for the Teal souls.
There's only 7K in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, 7K.
But there's 11,000 entries. 11,000, including current registered spectators and attendees.
That's an all-time record for the FGC, I think, in history.
I don't know for sure, because there was a lot of spectators at like old Evos that would sign up day of. And so like, I don't know if there was. I want to say that is probably the big. It's actually I know it's not the biggest competitor Evo that.
I mean, no matter what, it's definitely going to be historic if we're going to be there. But not right now. We're going to our next match here. Portland Punish, ZD versus Pericles. Pericles sticking with the Kim, but ZD playing that Marisa. Now, losers around here, I'd be really scared of after losing in winners and kind of. If your mental is not in the best place, fighting a Marisa is definitely one to kind of like get you down.
Yeah, but you can already see that Pericles is off to a really good job of just staying calm and trying to add these hits wherever they can, trying to just stay out of the like reaction OD stance grab, just like a 6-frame grab or something. Oh, but great counter right here. But just cashing out, just saying like, hey, I'm gonna try to bring you to the corner. I think maybe he thought they were close enough for a wall bounce.
Yeah, you can see how mobile like ZD is trying to match Pericles with these jumps. Yeah, we've seen him so many times trying to snipe out the jumps, able to find the mark there at the very end where it most counted. Yeah, another jump in right into a drive impact. That was kind of a bait, I feel.
Yeah, I think they were like, oh, you're going to try to do like jump slide like you've done it a lot.
Right.
And I'm just going to blow you up for doing DI and like sliding and stuff canceled.
Yeah, just look how jump happy that ZD is playing. It's very avant-garde play style. Unfortunately, did not get the cross center. Going to go right into the level 3, we calling it?
Yeah.
Time of death?
Dolphin Slay? It do.
Holy!
Yeah, so it was unfortunate you saw ZD right there. I think they were looking for a confirm at the wall, but they like missed it, so they had to go for a quick little scramble situation right there. Towards the end. Oh, they got the first round. I thought there was still one more game to go in the last one, and I was like, maybe that level 3 wasn't like the best thing you could have done to keep it up, but it's ZD showing that they can keep the pressure going, trying to get these javelins to work, trying to get these full charge punches, make something happen. Right up, Pericles just staying really calm, really good blocks, and good anti-air.
Ooh, yeah, you have to really be careful instructing your pressure against Marisa because she can charge the Gladius, take advantage of you, just like you're taking advantage here on the Scootum. It is nigh unreactive. It is you are not reacting to that. If you saw it, you're already getting hit.
Despite what certain chatters will tell you, you cannot react to that.
React fight. Yeah.
We see like a really good job using these Gladiuses and like using the partial charge to try to get the armor to bait Pericles into punching something. But the good confirm at the end of this driver is right here, misses the full connection to try to go into level 2 at the very end, but you'll be tossed back.
Yeah. The thing about having punish counter in this game too is that the Chicago punish, the Michigan punish, whatever you have, the Portland punish.
The Portland punish. As
we're here, I gotta say, is definitely effective in this game. So even if you need like a quick like jump pad, right? Just I don't have a combo, but I can grab you. I mean, it's enough. 15%.
Is it 15%?
Roughly, I believe. I'm probably wrong in the numbers here, but it just feels like a grip of damage, enough to really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
What does it say? Marisa hurts, right?
Marisa hurts, and you have to be prepared to like
accept the hurt.
Well, accept the hurt and counteract the hurt. Because like if you just let the Marisa player like run their game plan, even when you're like actively trying to play, if you just allow them to like go for these armor charges and those kinds of shenanigans, it can be really hard to deal with. I think a lot of people will like. You see a lot of people do well versus Marisa like being in those ranges where you would actually find these throws or these like the forward moving lows, because that is the trick with armor, right? Like if something has armor, you can blow it up with a low.
Yeah, definitely. There is a big gap in her armor per se. Like, no pun intended, of course. So a lot of Marisas are trying to like figure out how to like check those situations. But that is like probably like where the character might bottle cap is like if you have ways like we've seen, you know, let's take Kotashi for instance, who's been kind of like been a little bit in the dumps lately trying to figure out the Ken matchup because of one button, right? Low forward. And like a lot of characters have very long low forwards in this game. If you have a very long low forward that is drive rush cancelable, you're already sitting pretty than most of the cast here.
Yep.
So definitely it's kind of a boon for a character like Marisa, but we're getting Marisa coming right back up here against Reliant Fox.
It's Relight.
Relight, excuse me.
So Relight was one of like this is their first like Street Fighter that they're really putting the time.
Excellent.
Historically, anime player. In our extra beginner bracket,
Of course they're
early
playing
today-
JP.
Yeah, but in our extra beginner bracket, they got second.
Oh,
So, like,
wow.
Like
okay.
a very like competent player, beating out players like Northwest Major top 8 contender Raine and Ebonic Plague, right? Like these like long time like anime players that were showing in the beginner bracket. Nice OD amnesia right there. Gonna be able to allow them to take a turn back, but a good jab out of a quick little throw check.
Yeah, not really an easy time to kind of defend against Amnesia here, but you know, you just keep swinging, and you also sneak in a Scootum here. All right, there's not many mistakes you can do. Good drive rush in. You got to be careful. The level 1 blocks just in time, though.
Yeah.
Good stuff on ZD.
Yeah, was ready at that right exact spacing that he needed to be for the level 1 call out right there. Tries the Superman punch throw away in right here and forcing these drive impacts to try to bring him to the corner. But honestly, Relight very comfortable with being in those corner positions and just being able to toss out all these pierces and not even trying to go for the projectiles early. Really
Yeah, I was just going to mention, not really establishing like any of like the projectile ghosts and whatnot, but we are establishing the drive impact pressure. Going to get a little bit of damage here. Spite for good measure. Put down to the departure. Maybe teleport in. Yes, we are going to go low.
God, that webset, or I call it webset.
The webset.
It's
Unibrain.
you know, Relight's a uni player. They play Bianca. Like
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Like you can see, it works out really well for them, and I like that. So, like, is ZD doing a good job of showing off the counterplay early on in this? Once Relight is going for those spike checks. Great grab. Oh my, that's more than 50% right there. That's a.
Oh, I meant like punish counter for normal for them.
Oh yeah.
No. Scootum does absolutely a grip of damage too, and she kind of needs to like force this like scenarios. What I tell about these jumps?
Footsies.
It's a good jump, man. It's a good
jump. But yeah, like ZD showing over there, like this is the trick. If you're at home, you're like, man, how do I deal with this JP champion? And he's just throwing out spires, throwing out these projectiles. You have to go for parry drive rush. Because if you do parry drive rush, it allows you to close your distances and like get through some of the other projectile shenanigans they can bring. And ZD doing a really good job of recognizing that tool is something that they have to do early on in these closer gaps, and also spending those drive rushes early to stay close.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really seeing the. They're not really staying in the zone here when it comes to being a zoner. They feel like you're kind of being a little bit too passive because you're letting ZD kind of just move in for free here with these drive rushes.
Yeah, like just like, or even like those Superman punches, just being like, yep, you're gonna do that, and I'm not gonna do anything about it. Meanwhile, OD Amnesia finally working out for them, and they're gonna be able to find a confirm, but the confirm does put them into burnout.
Potentially a throw situation, mash out on the overhead. These neutral jumps are just paying off dividends here, and you're also in burnout. Scootum anti-airing in the process here. I think it'll behoove Relight Fox if they can just play like a little more grounded anti-air when necessarily, or throw out a level 2. Or we ain't scared no ghost. We're just gonna move right in.
Wait, no.
No shot.
I'm going home.
Take all the love. Take all of it. Take all of it. Go home. Go home.
Yeah, you're really disconnected.
Get off my lawn, old man.
That was. Yeah, they just felt very.
Sorry, when it faded out, it had to be right back. It was like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, that was like you saw ZD getting away with a lot of free jumps like early on. I think they recognized that towards the end. Like you saw that like triple empty jump that they did, where it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Did ZD also play anime games?
ZD is someone I'm not familiar with personally.
Yeah, just like the way the play style is, it seems like they kind of maybe inherited from a different game, maybe even Smash, even the way I'm kind of like analyzing this. But yeah, I think Relight Fox definitely picking a great character to play with. Probably needs to maybe work on, of course, the anti-situation. You can't establish a powerful ground game without doing that first. And so it's something as simple as like a crouching fierce into maybe a projectile, right?
Yep.
That creates so much distance to go right back into your game plan.
For sure. And that was I think that was winner. That was
A
like,
little bit lost here on the games count here, honestly. But
I think that was losers top 8.
okay.
First round.
Yeah.
So I think that pushed them all the way down. You know, and like I said, Relight historically being an anime player, still putting in a lot of really good work through Street Fighter, and really been grinding this out. Like I see them playing this game pretty consistently.
It's a beautiful time to get in a fighting game, especially when a Street Fighter has a new game, because that is a ripple effect to every other game, basically. Usually a lot of developers follow what Street Fighter kind of sets precedent to. So I'm really excited to see what becomes of everything, and if you like this game, just wait, see what comes next.
Man, I can't believe the precedent's going to be good video game.
That's crazy, right?
It's crazy.
That's crazy. I can't believe it's you that that's crazy. Well, also crazy. I go pee. Right back.
But yeah, we're going to be getting some more matches of Street Fighter 6 coming up soon. Players sitting on deck. My phone's dead, so I actually can't tell you where we're at in the bracket. What was that? Was that like... That was losers top 8? That was? Hey, good stuff. Good stuff. You killed it. Well, you made it this far. You're not a... Get on the mic. Get on the mic. Talk your stuff. We got downtime. You got young Relight. Oh, I should say old Relight here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Street Fighter.
It's hard.
I've heard you. I've heard you like this game. I heard you played it once or twice.
It's fun.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, good stuff today. Like, I want to give anime players the shout out because Street Fighter players need to know that Snake Eyes in 2015 is no longer correct. I have to bring it that close whenever I can. I'm sorry. It's so funny. It's so funny. But yeah, like you've been a lot of you've been putting in the good work, and we've been seeing it, and you know.
I had no idea what to do with Marissa in the air.
Like you basically you need an anti-air.
I know.
Like I'm
also just exhausted.
Yeah, it's been a long day. It's like what, 8 p.m.
Yeah, and I've been here since 1.
Yeah. It's been a long day. You know, this is a long Street Fighter bracket. This is the biggest Street Fighter bracket that Portland's had, I think, since the pandemic.
58. I am super happy with that.
Yeah. That's basically is making it past Pools Phase 2 at Evo.
Let's go. Let's go to Evo.
You got top like 275th at Evo or whatever.
Yeah, Marissa body me.
Yeah, like I said, it's just anti-airing. You didn't commit to doing like Spire sets super early.
Yeah.
Like you had to just let them do their thing, and then you eventually did Spire, and they eventually showed you like, hey, I do have that layer 1 counterplay to it, but I think asserting that dominance early on and then making those adaptations and not doing it in game 2 puts you in a better spot in the long run.
And he did that quicker.
Yeah. But you'll be able to see ZD keep it up going as they now fight Wimplo here, who we saw in our loser side or winner side match lose to Mike C, who was the Ken player. But Wimplo did a very good job of controlling the pace of the match. But sometimes Manon can struggle with it, especially on those anti-airs that aren't as close where you have to delay the target coverage just a little bit more to try to get that mix going right here. Alright, good job, check. Oh, but a great jump out on the grab attempt right there. Goes in for the hit grab confirm. Metal Party getting started right here.
Okay, I'm gonna watch this game.
Yeah.
Not the first
That's understandable. Going to get a big pretzel. Alright, oh, I actually like that. I think versus your quote-unquote standard Marissa, going for that grab check right there was good, but ZD has just been showing very much that they're willing to just stay in the air and just press it down. So stagger, yeah, there we go. So it's unblockable unless you're ready for it. Yeah, drive reversal out. I do like ZD or names are swapped on there. It is Wimplo and left ZD on the right. Yeah, doing a really good job. Yeah, and I like the parry on the javelin right there to be able to have time to react. But misses the DI confirm. That's so unfortunate. Yeah. Down, good jump check. As you try to make these gladies work, trying to find these opportunities to like blow Wimplo up right here. But they're staying very cautious, but until they go for a parry. Yeah. Yeah, and then DI not close enough to the corner. I think maybe thought that they were there because this stage is a little deceptive in my opinion.
Yeah.
But exactly where the corner is right here.
Nice.
Alright, yeah, good check with the one. Do it. Yeah. And it's fine to like represent that.
Alright, I'm handing the mic back over to you.
To my goat first shot. BG's anime players, SMDH. I can't believe you ranked the beginner bracket to be some. Well, I know I got first shot back on the mic here.
Yo, what to do? I'm seeing ZD coming back once again. Putting the hurt to my man Wimplo out here. Already winning that first game as I saw pretty early on, so I'm loving to see the adaptation coming into losers here. Not to be really deterred.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Like I've been seeing Wimplo like try to play that like standard footsies game that they were doing. We saw previously versus Mikey, right?
Right.
But ZD has just been so like hold 6 this entire match.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's one thing that Wimplo is definitely keen on after playing so many different fighting games. Was very good with Karen in 5. Plays also like Anji in Street Fighter. Is that they're going to be really on point with their anti-airs?
Anji in Street Fighter?
Anji in Street Fighter. Anji in Street But Crouching Fierce is just an immaculate button that Wimplo knows exactly how to defeat the playstyle that he likes to do. Wimplo has a lot of match experience against one of our prevalent Marisa players, Copper.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, you can't make big mistakes against Marisa because she makes it hurt the most. Oh, but maybe you can too. Maybe you can, Manon is known for robbery, but there will be none today too. Money is staying safe to the bank.
No robbery happening here.
I'm trying. I'm trying out here.
Yeah. Oh, I think another big thing is that like I've seen Wimplo. Like I said, I think Wimplo is doing a very good job of playing quote-unquote traditional Street Fighter, but ZD is one of those players that is playing really Marisa that definitely helps this, that doesn't really allow you to play that traditional Street Fighter. That focus game doesn't, like, it exists and you still have to participate in it, but sometimes you're just going to get armored through, but you're tossing them out of their own OD grab sets right here.
Yeah, check on the jab there. I think, honestly, there's been so many times where Wimplo is looking for, like, these jumps and whatnot, but now it's going to be, like, be careful, like, when you do get the strike situation, like, look out for the checks. And right there, once again, DD checking Wimplo into a level 3. Yeah. Kiss the fist, smack on the face, going all the way coast to coast, right to the wall.
Well, they're not checking him into that hospital. He's still got a little bit life left on deck there. And now you see playing really, really patient. Like, okay, I'm just going to block.
Wow, big sneak throw.
And they were
sneaky, sis.
They weren't ready for it. They were just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait you to do some kind of shenanigans you saw earlier. Like you saw that first game, the Hail Mary over.
Yeah, I did see that too. So if that's like probably information that went below is just like how much caution to the wind they want to kind of throw, and especially with throwing this much drive gauge already out the window, it's kind of a little difficult to defend yourself once you get put in the corner like this. Okay, but finds a nice sweep. Once again, jumps out to a guy looking for these defensive options to wake up.
Trade, yeah.
Oh, that's a free punish. Unfortunately, Wimplo was not quite ready for it.
Yeah, and that happens. Like honestly, it's a tool that you don't see a lot of Marisa use.
Yeah, the overhead part of the scooter.
Oh, good armor.
I'm always amazed about how long she can charge the Gladius to break through drive impact. When I think like, oh, I got you this time. No, you don't. But there is Marisa ZD getting Wimplo there with another Scutum grab.
Yeah, and now sitting at match point here, trying to make it over to that loser semis portion of the match. Oh, and a great jump out on that throw attempt right there. ZD getting those reads and trying to figure out exactly when Wimplo wanted to be pressing. Making a Lord hurt. Step kick comes through, locks him down once again.
I get the feeling that maybe Wimplo is playing a little bit too fast, right? They're like a little bit too natural footsie based, right? I think he did put a little bit of stank on, a little bit of grind somehow. I'm not sure what that is, but I think ZD is definitely putting a lot more hurt to Wimplo. All out the jump. Yeah, there's one thing that ZD is on point where it is anti-airs. Taking out Wimplo in the process, sniping out a man's in the bracket.
I'm not, like, you're right. Like, Wimplo needed to do something to, like, bring their own X factor in it. Because if you don't, the Mercy player, like, just like we saw, able to gain.
She's a little missionary, right? Like,
yeah, she gained full control over it. She was, like, you know, completely unstoppable, and especially in those corner sequences as well. So, I don't.
It might have also been like a playstyle thing here. I had mentioned that like Wimplo has practiced with one of our Maurice's Copper. You know, Copper plays a lot more you know, heavy into like the target combos. Like we saw ZD play a lot more mobile and like a lot more gung ho and just like, I'm willing to throw these things out. Can you deal with them at these seemingly random patterns?
Yeah. It's it's interesting. I always try to think of like how do you
beat certain playstyles?
How do you beat this? How do you prevent this? What tools does this character have? And you saw it. You saw things like these 2H anti-airs, 2HP anti-airs. I can't use one letter. It's not modern. You saw these crouching fierce, like hit anti-airs coming out, but they weren't going into the full target combo. And that crouching fierce target combo is like the big tool that Manon has for her anti-airs, because you're able to pick them up, and then you swing them back down, and then you put them in a situation where they have to gamble with their life on a strike threat.
Yeah, I think we talked about last time in Winners when Wimplo was playing. There can be somewhat a lot of commitment when you're trying to like condition your opponent. And what is Marisa like? Is commitment.
Yeah.
Because she can punish that 3 times fold than a lot of other characters.
Well, she likes commitment because she's looking for someone.
She has armor, you know, right? She has the ability to power through commitment. And, you know, she is looking for commitment, right? If you ever play her story mode, she is looking, you know, would it be man or woman, she is the strongest bisexual in the game, so.
All right, but up next we have Takuan Soho, assuming that's how you pronounce that, playing DJ.
Ooh, playing my boy DJ. Love this character.
We want to know something that's really funny. Takuan Soho, I went to high school with this guy. Did not know played fighting games.
Really?
Did not know he played fighting
Small
games.
world, right?
Came here last week and it was like, yeah. Yeah. Turned around, then I put two together. I'm like, oh my god,
and they're
what?
in losers semis too, and
they got third last month.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a small world. Fighting games are something so great, right?
They're bringing us together right now, bringing us into our loser semis match here, trying to get back into that third place spot with that DJ against ZD's Marisa. And you can already see, I think Takuan doing a really good job of just controlling that spacing and not allowing ZD to be as mobile as they'd like.
Now, one thing that maybe Manon had a little bit lacking in the range on lows, DJ will definitely not. Has a crouching medium kick to kind of check a lot of Marisa's actions, and also can be just as mobile to handle the avant-garde playstyle that ZD likes to keep throwing out.
Yeah, with that party game button of just run drive rush, being able to let you just stay up real close right here and keep that pressure going. And now you're stuck in a very, very scary throwing situation. Tries to jump out, but the anti-airs come through.
Okay, not get a full conversion. Unfortunately, I think a little bit flub on the execution there too. Takuan Soho looks pretty nice with the DJ so far.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's what you have to do. You have to find ways to check the opening gambit that DJ likes to throw out with these drive rushes.
But you already saw, ready for them to go for the immediate like re-drive rush throw attempts right there, trying to stuff them out. Staying really, really calm right here, allowing ZD to make these situations to be negative in their situation. Then Takuan Soho gave priority on them, tried to sway themselves back in, but instead you're getting punched out.
Gonna burn out. Both characters burning out right here, and I think honestly it's a little bit more scary for DJ if I'm him. Okay, wow, these air airs have just been I feel like just 10 for 10 in all of these situations. Oh my good god. Hold down the Gladius, hold down the fort because we're hitting it down here to level 3.
Yeah, but like you have had the Gladius confirm, and then you spent your level 3 on this. So now you're going into this next game with no bar. And while Marisa has these big damage confirms, like especially using the OD, it's in a much more beneficial situation for the DJ to now be spending that bar a lot more aggressively, try to get it more dominantly where they can.
Oh no, but if you whiff an EX flash hit at that, it might not matter because now you're like half health, which means I think Marisa might only need about maybe 1.5 more chances to make this up. Now one chance. One big chance. It's getting very dangerous close if you keep swinging wide like that, so I would play a little bit more reserved. That was pretty committal, but it did work out in your favor.
Yeah, and just went for the three HK right there.
Oh, the
Woo!
scramble. The
Yes!
scramble.
Yeah, looking like a bunch of eggs right here coming out and trying to make things happen
Ah!
with a command grab.
Bend him over. Dominate him.
Yeah.
There we go, ZD.
Taking game number 1 here. This is 2 out of 3, still losing semi, so you have to make it work. Early OD, Sonic Booms right there into the jackknife just to get that anti, or just to keep him down and trying to throw loop. But ZD wasn't having it. Tech's out now. Gets to continue to use these gladiators to try to gain control.
Okay, fantastic control. Unfortunately, did not get the full confirm into the machine gun upper. I feel that one, Soho. I've had that happen to me.
Bird out, though, on this attempt, but still found the throw to come through. But a drive impact comes through. This is a big hit.
Yeah, machine gun upper does so much damn damage to get double dash in. Video fortunately able to jump out. EX projectile is like +10, which means a free just kind of run in.
Oh, and they thought they could find that whiff punish, but they did find the whiff punish on that second hit, though. Wasn't able to find that super confirm, though, so it did have to spend that bar. And now you got to play a really, really good spot right here, where you're just throwing out these Sonic Booms, trying to get them to stop, not allowing them to make that
I was about to
happen.
say, it looks a little scary. I like the plan that they were sticking with earlier on Soho's side, with just chucking projectiles and wait for Marisa to fall on their sword.
Yeah, but I think from the Marisa perspective, like, this is something that you can chip. You can go for, like, hey, I'm gonna do parry drive rush on these attempts and try to close the distance instead of trying to drive impact through them, where you gotta stay safe and now force them into that crush confirm right there to the level 3. It's party time.
Hey, what going, man?
Oh my god, Chet Hanks.
Ah!
All right.
Oh, my man with this. Here I come, I am Cinnamon. No!
Oh my goodness.
Okay, the knee shot. Yeah, the knee shot is one thing that I would like to see Soho maybe add a little bit to like the stack here. Just the EX Soapbot. Okay, whatever. We like to do skip out here. We also like to just do level 2 and not block the second hit, which is great stuff for ZD. This is so scary. I would hate to be in this situation. I would hate to be in this situation.
Well, you know what we say about ZD? Never put me into a situation right here. Keeping that chip damage, force throw and burnout. But they found the gap. They found that jump out coming through. And that's Taku on Soho tying it up 1-1 here. Loser semis.
Damn scary here. And I think, honestly, Soho has stopped using the opening gambits with the drive rushes, which I agree. You have to have like these litmus tests of like, okay, if they're going to be checking me, I have to start taking a little bit more like mid-range approach, maybe throw more projectiles.
Yeah, and a good just up back jab, just trying to air him out. You've been seeing like Soho trying to like stay in that sort of like air-to-air range and take advantage of it. But not gonna make it work. Jackknife confirmed though. Keep that party going right here, but a good toss from ZD.
Yeah, and honestly, it's creating a scenario where ZD has to play a lot more grounded compared to what they used to. Jackknife is so ready to snipe you.
Takes going,
Woo!
checks the overhead. Yeah, and there we go. I think it's actually just like respecting the Gladius right there was pretty smart, but the full confirm on there off that level 1.
This is huge. You know, in Burnout, once again, you know, you still have the armor on Marisa's side, so you better be careful about the buttons you do press. There's not many too special cancelable buttons on the medium and heavy side, so you better be prepared to live with the decisions.
Well, now you don't have to be worried about it too much with that drive gauge coming back and playing able to play defensively. Sova kick not working out, but ZD trying to make these scrambles work out, but it's still giving Soho a chance to
I am hyperventilating right here because I'm having almost an aneurysm about how close these games are.
Stressful for you, it's stressful for me, it's stressful for everyone. All right, yeah, good. Yeah, I'm loving these up back jabs from ZD. Like, yeah, like they're catching in the air, they're trying to air and trying to get a big advantage. I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm just going to get these hits where I can. Good spacing out from Soho, but not able to make a big plan happen just yet. Check that Superman punch reset. Grab away.
Babe. Okay, drive impact this time does parry it too. Not gonna let any funny business happen. That's one of the few knee shots we've kind of seen because ZD's been so good about air-to-air here. Once again, hold it down like you mean it with the Gladius.
Oh, and gets the run-up throw as well. Drive gauge looking low for Soho.
Drive runs down. Oh, I like the idea. Jumped over the crouching medium kick, but put right in range of the charge jackknife.
And still, you have to be very careful that this completely burns out and you're on low enough life down to level 3. Confirmed right here from ZD.
No, it was a little bit too far away to fully connect. That is heartbreaking because that was all ZD's to win. But unfortunately, it wasn't. Soho would be taking out ZD in a heartbreaking end.
That's so unfortunate. They were like, I had this. I had the confirm. I was ready for this.
I wasn't given the frames.
And then, you know, the risk you took was calculated. But damn, I'm bad at math.
Someone get me an abacus. toss me it. I need to go back to basics.
Get that pen and paper out. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that like that confirm the level 3 start was just slightly too slow off that confirm. I think it was like a slightly delayed input.
Could we all feel that?
Like we saw it and I was like, oh, you get the hit in the level 3, but I think they recognized that hit confirmed slightly too late.
You don't want games to end on that. You know?
No, it sucks. It nobody's happy.
Nobody's happy because it's just like.
Soho's kind of happy.
I mean,
like, I get back
there's happiness in it, but it's a little bit melancholy. At least I would feel on my end because it's just like I want to beat my opponent as fair as I can.
Agree.
All right, we'll be getting more rounds up here from Street Fighter 6 goodness here. Our PDX FGC community, you know what it is here at Portland Punish.
I do want to take a moment as well. We do have, I believe this is the only sponsor for the event. We do have a sponsor. Oh, we got Junk Food Arcades.
Preach Junk Food Arcade.
I mean, I'll be real. Are you in the FGC? You know these guys by now. The Stackbox Micro has taken the scene by storm. It's like, how many of them do you see at a major now? Or like even just local events? Like half the people here have one.
Yeah, so many people are have got the sweet tooth for junk food for sure. Yeah. They have the hitbox is such a sleek design, very portable as well too. You know, I kind of put my hand to my chin and like, I'm like,
is it worth it for you? I would personally, if it were me, I would love to see a portable stick option come up because I know
unscrew.
I've seen some other ones around that people have made that are like
$1 million idea.
Like that's like, oh, it's like, you know, it's the same size as the snack box, but instead of the hitbox stuff, you just have one of the like detachable like joysticks, and you can still make it you have to like expand it to the height a little bit to make it like.
Why not expand your market, right?
But yeah, you know, stickless is cool. But we were talking about this earlier today. I personally think stick aesthetically is the coolest thing you can be playing.
It's ingrained in arcade culture, so yeah. I'm absolutely agree as an older player.
As a boomer, yeah.
Can't be. Why?
Because I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
What do you like?
Because us boomers have a good, firm, solid handshake. That's.
When I came into the scene, there were already boomers.
Well, they've never left. They've never left. I'm standing up and I'm looking at a sea of boomers right now.
Is there super boomers? Is that like does that exist?
Super boomers? Yeah, those are called super turbo players. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. All right, but losers finals here. Onabi and Soho gonna get right into it. Now we've seen this Kimberly and this DJ kind of come up and play here, but I'm curious to see how Soho is going to get away with how much drive rush pressure against a rushdown character like Kimberly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? Like you're seeing. Like, you saw Onabe really go for a lot of these hard resets, a lot of these, like, more scramble situations, but Soho was doing a very good job of stopping ZD from doing that. And potentially could be seeing that recontextualize back over into this matchup. But right now, just playing it a little bit more honest, just saying, hey, I'm going to try to, like, shut you down. I'm going to just try to play that really calm footsies game and blow you up for it. And spacing out, using that sweep right there to try to make something happen. But the OD confirm doesn't work out. So Onabe getting their turn back. They'll just get tossed up by Soho.
Yeah, just kind of reset the neutral there with the throw. Gonna check some plasma while to boot. Use the feint as well. Just make, like, you know, Onabe think twice about running in.
Nice. Yeah, good jab check right there.
Crouching medium kick. Who gave a sweep on a crouching medium normal?
I did. This is all my fault.
Oh, it's your fault.
All my fault.
I did this.
You did this? I did. Oh, yeah, I like that. So using that jumping light kick right there, just wanting to check out a lot of the, like, because a lot of people do that, like air tatsu or like air teleport right there, and the jumping light kick shuts that down. But having it with and then still being able to cover it on the following.
And it's so damn active too. And I think Soho's starting to apply that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because of how much it adds onto your opponent, looking for so many different things, as we've kind of mentioned so many times. Okay, here comes the run step here. Overhead grabs out of the overhead. Great. Honestly, I want to give reactions. Kudos to Soho on that one.
Kudos for their reactions, and I'm giving good kudos to that drive impact confirm that's coming up right here. Gets a good side swap as well. I do like to just like take the less damage, go for the side swap right there, and then get your own drive impacts confirmed.
I mean, she don't miss. Onabe is playing so well, her able to get these resets to boot. We get another one. Okay, nice delay tech.
Yeah, but recognizing that's like, hey, they want to go for a throw here because, you know, Kimberly now being burnt out. This could be a big situation for Soho to make their comeback right here. Sobot kick tried to come out, but the level 1's going to get punished.
That was such a big bet there on the EX Sobot. This is, hey, we out here.
Hey, taking their own. I do like that from, like, oh no, actually, no, I don't like that. No, I do like that. Because the level 1 didn't work. Like,
Conflicted, are we?
I was conflicted, right? Because, like, I was like, oh, yeah, the level 1, like, you try to save that bar. And it didn't really end up working out for them in that confirm, but I think getting that level 1 and getting that big pop off to then take it forward would have been a good comeback for them. So good idea for the use of that level 1, a good idea for the use of that drive rush check right there, to be able to confirm into that low, and a nice North Tech out there for Soho, really trying to make things happen using that OD projectile.
Yeah, you really have to create these like situations for DJ to be in the most optimal range, so you have to spend a little bit of resources, just like a lot of different characters. But here comes Kimberly, hopefully to try to find an opening of her own.
Yeah. All right, yeah, just sweeps out. Hey, flash kicks, jackknives. There we go. Pairing the Sonic Boom, saying like, hey, I'm not going to let you do this. I'm going to make you, if you try to forward check me, I can just come in. That drive gauge is running low. That chips out so quick. That chips out so much.
Yeah, I'm seeing that Soho is trying to hopefully get a burnout here. And I think Onabi is recognizing that and throwing a lot more preventive buttons to like check that scenario. As we're seeing the drive cage economy kind of even out here, just in time to get some EXDP action as well.
OD. OD in it.
Oh, you ready for the ride?
Hey.
Can you beat the relegation? Can you beat him? You didn't quite beat the relegations, but you completed the whole damn thing. So I give you mad props.
That's white guy rhythm right there. All right, here we go. Yeah, goes for the light jackknife, trying to feint right there, but you already saw Onabe was ready for it. And Soho really just tries to reconnect that in there.
Yeah, medium Sobot is definitely like a move that can keep you off guard. Such an incredible burst option you can kind of just throw out to make sure your opponent is not sleeping on you.
Well, it also covers, like you see a lot of people trying to do like the jump up top to just like close that distance. And it weirdly covers that space that a lot of tools similar to it doesn't. So it has a lot of advantage in that. And see, I like that parry from Soho right there. Like, hey, are you gonna?
Hasn't shown a lot either.
Yeah, hasn't shown just raw parries, but showing off the drive impact. But Onabe was already ready for it to not take that bait, trying to use their own drive gauge in there. They actually end up doing on this one right here. So the time is game 2 up 1-1. Remember, losers finals. This is 3 out of 5. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, Onabe doing a really good job this round of like sticking to like Soho like blue, and unless Soho comes to you at the same time too, getting some great damage. Spends a lot of meter in the process. I'm not sure if that was the most optimal thing, but you do get corner carry. Well, for only how long, right? You get level 3.
So the biggest thing is that install, right? Being able to have that ability.
Right. So yeah, having this to like kind of like match DJ in like speed.
Yeah, and getting that burnout off as well. Like big advantage of being able to just.
How many overheads we gonna get? A 1.
We had 2 over there right there. Then we just check up with the lows because you saw that Soho was worried about those overheads. They were trying to go for preemptive matches, but could not find the opportunity to fully punch it out at the very end. So we'll have to try to find it here in our game 3 coming up.
So I think we know that Soho is definitely on point with these anti-airs because it's hard to jump in on the charge characters sometimes. Oh, and it's hard to also just do raw drive impact against Onabe when they're so ready for it. Once again, this side switch, and you're just not ready to block in defense. Sorry, I know you paid money for this. I know you paid money you didn't want to block, but
I paid money. They're looking like they're paying money right now to the OD jackknife, but Onabe spaced out perfectly to make that whiff. You need to get the burnout at the very end.
I understand.
No?
You have to spend cash to make cash here, but you know, there's a grind set, and Onabe is on it.
Yeah, Soho's racking up a little bit of that debt right there with the amount of cash that they're trying to expend to make things happen. But you already see them staying a lot more patient, staying a lot slower, trying to not allow themselves to be put in those situations where they were burning up their OD gauge and then being like, okay, I have to use it to try to make something happen, and then being punished for it when Onabe guesses right.
I like it. Just kind of jab check, wait for an option after the pressure here, gain some data.
I know Soho just spacing back up, knowing like, hey, I have that further range advantage right here, but big punish counter.
Unfortunately, too far away though to get a big conversion, but take the knockdown when he can.
Just like Onabe will do the exact same thing when they're fighting on all of these hits.
Hey! Yeah, once again, the airspace is all on Soho's side, so I think a more solid ground game, which I believe in Onabe. They've been showing it. Or you can just go in with some smoke right now. Give him a smoke.
Yeah, I think it's good to try to burn that like early on, like try to show like, hey, are you gonna get blown up by this mix? But you're not gonna get blown up by that drive
No, you're
impact.
definitely not.
As you were ready for that reaction to just jump out, not wanting to spend that bar, saving it for this final round here of our third game.
Yeah, and at this point, if it's not working raw, that means you need to mask it behind like a button. Make sure your intentions are not too obvious.
There we go. Yeah, just jab checks, trying to bait out things like that. OD jackknife right there. Hey, 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 more like bye, bye, bye. Getting hit with this big level 3 coming up right here. Soho going to be able to keep that install back in action once again. And Burnout goes down to that drive gauge. Yeah,
This would be absolutely huge. Yeah, Burnout immediately right after that. Oh, but pulled the trigger on the level 3. My man was definitely churning on defense.
And being able to recover about half that drive gauge from it as well, even up his life totals, or actually not being in advantage with these with all these projectiles working out for them. But Onabe finally closed the gap and finally making these mix-ups work. Good stagger pressure right here. Sways back, trying to get him to press, but nothing's really happening out here. Onabe keeping him really patient.
Yeah, trying to find an opportunity. Drive rush might be... Oh, that was such a great idea. But able to make the hurt here with the punish counter. Has a level 1 and gets spended. I think you can.
You're dead.
I think you can. And you will. Great stuff to Onabe to get another one on the board. Hard fought here. Just needs one more game to get revenge in Grand.
Yeah, and so going right back into it, I personally, if it were me, I would say take a breather.
I've been saying this a lot. As good as the rematch function is in this game, you have to ice your opponent a little bit. Take a deep breath. Do what you can, because going in hot all the time is not always the best.
But it is late. Like we're getting.
It is late. I do feel that.
So some these players are like, I just, I gotta get home. I gotta get back to my wife because I'm 45 years old. And that's playing Street Fighter 6. I don't know how many players are that old, but
I'm 17. I have a wife, but I'm also 45.
Yeah. You're simultaneously 17 and 45. Healing that.
There are two wolves inside.
One is 17.
Two FGC players inside of you.
One is 17 years old. One is 45 years old. Neither of you are reacting.
They're both playing Exert.
Neither of you are reacting to drive attack. But all right, good drive rush check right there. They're forcing a burnout of their own right there. I like that, and I like that jump out on that drive impact check right there into a quick level 1 just to add up that damage wherever they can.
Yeah, this is looking very good for Onabe so far. Now, it doesn't have to be too much risk and kind of just wait for Soho to come in. It comes in a big way with the slide, gets the punish counter, and gets the drive impact to just steal the game right away.
No, they hit. Oh, no, they still got it. Okay, I was worried for a second because they
stuttered a little bit there. I thought for a second in my head they were going to go for taunt.
Maybe.
I don't know, because they were it was a suspicious pause, right?
It was a pause. It felt like they missed an input, and then they had to quickly figure out oh god, nothing's happened, just press something.
Right.
And still was able to find the confirm. Now they almost found that big punish counter confirm, but Soho finding these OD jackknives to be working a lot more than they were previously. I'm noticing one thing actually about Soho is they haven't gone for feints. We haven't seen feint fireball. We haven't seen feint sway. We haven't seen feint jackknife.
Not too much. We've seen only feint fireball, but at full screen too. And honestly, I'm still confused. Drive impact, like the distance you get hit and wall splatted, is still kind of a mystery. I think players are still trying to figure that out. Okay, overhead situation. We saw that earlier, and it is still potent after all this time, and also able to snuff out the jackknife.
Yeah, but they weren't able to get a big confirm off of it. Meanwhile, this level 2 connected at the max range didn't opt to go for the Thunder God Dance, which is what the one I always think of.
Yeah.
Afterwards, they just went for the combo confirm.
Yeah, the Deadly Rave did not get completed, but it has so much hit stun on hit that you're able to complete the combo in the process.
And that's just showing you the awareness that Soho has right there. And Onabe didn't have the awareness to check out that drive impact, so you're going to be able to get solid confirm. A lot of that drive gauge going down as well, but slowly building back up.
One thing that I also haven't seen from Soho, even though we're doing a immaculate job so far, I would love to see confirmed maybe into a heavy Sobot, just like every once in a while, because it does leave you standing. I mean, these knockdowns are fantastic, right? But you have to create opportunities, right? And maybe they don't need it. Soho doing a great job already up around here.
Yeah, I think you're seeing potentially keep it in their back pocket for this kind of game at the very end, where you want to save that tool to where you're not burning it super early right here.
No, was seeing in the machine gun number once again. Definitely hurts to see. But it definitely hurt to also get hit with this overhead one more time.
All right, finding the burnout as well, but we've seen Soho and especially Onabe as well make these comebacks from the burnout situation. And it's possible. CA now back on deck. I like that. I like that. You've been seeing a lot of that up back come out from Soho at those ranges, so just immediately challenging with your own and then making them guess for that 50-50 high-low. Being so good right here. Gets that good corner carry as well. Break can't set up, but you're getting tossed back into your own. Say hi to your own color.
That was quite risky, but it might just pay off here in the corner. Yeah, you are not getting away with that. Onabe has seen the tricks.
But that was expensive. That was driver.
Was very expensive, but did not get the full punish off the punish counter either.
And that's the thing, is like, while that may work, this one, though, is the one that you do want to work. Level 3 on deck as well, should you choose to cash it out here.
And we will.
Tight. And this should kill. Should kill.
Oh, absolutely. I was holding my breath because you never knew.
I knew it.
But you definitely keep the channel points.
I am so smart. I am so smart. Sagem, hire me.
But great stuff to Onabe taking it 3-2. What a nice competitive loser finals as we go into our grands here. And then that will be Onabe versus
No, Pericles is out. It's been so long.
It's been so long. We apologize. Our brain's a little bit fried here.
It is. Shoot, I actually don't remember. And my phone's dead, so I can't check. But it's a rematch of our winners finals match, which was it's Mikey.
Mikey, excuse me, the Ken player.
Yes, this is a rematch.
That's been whooping some butt throughout this bracket.
Yep. And they're sitting very comfy on the winner side of this, looking to take home.
Looking pretty poised. Onabe's been playing hot though, and that's one thing you got to be scary of as a player that comes from losers. That has been very limber. I've been curious to during that time has Mikey been getting in some casuals, right, just to make sure they're kind of warmed up, because that is definitely a thing when you're going for the 100-meter dash. You best be doing some stretches, getting flexy, right?
Yeah, and. Definitely we have a lot of casuals happening. A lot of people trying to grind out these games for as long as they can tonight.
Yo, games? 3 a.m. Games?
I have no idea what time it is. There's no way.
No, it's probably right.
Holy snap. It's a big event, big crazy. Oh my goodness. Getting into our final game of the night. Folks, if you like what you see, if you're new to the chat, if you're enjoying the good vibes, make sure to follow the stream. Make sure to check out everything they do. Because Epic does, they do a lot for us. They all the stream equipment is provided by them, and that's not.
Which is amazing. Yeah, it's a lot to ask of your local venue to provide. They provide it in a big way, and I'm happy to see it. I hope to come back as soon as possible just to get some more of this PDX love.
We do the Portland Punish events happen the third weekend of every month. I think August might be being skipped out because of EVO and just a lot of other stuff. Oh, no, the other reason
makes sense.
Because this is a card shop, right? They're actually doing a big Final Fantasy event, I think, happening around the same time.
Yo, the last frontier for one of the most underrated card games.
Honestly, it's not the last frontier. It's the biggest frontier on the one of the biggest frontiers on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I think they have a cap and they usually sell out for these big events.
That's amazing. So. Yeah, it's good to see games of all kinds thriving here. We'll see how long that Onabe can thrive here in this grand finals that we go into. Mikey wasting no time getting the Dragon Lash going. Just said, we got to close shop, so I'm just going to close out this grand. Why not?
I'm going to try to get all this damage added up, fighting the big crush confirm as well with the Jinrai loops now. Just end that DP, send him up once again, going for the frame kill, but finding these great confirms, utilizing that Dragon Rush perfectly.
Okay, yeah, we check back in a big way here. Onabe taking space in the process here. Ooh, gets really committal on the throw here, which is, I hope that's not really telling to Mikey, because Mikey's probably one to really download pretty early. You have 2 sets to do it too, right?
Yeah. You as Mikey's in the winning position for this, you have a lot of learning that you can do, you can afford to do, as well as you already have the previous information that you have to go off of and see where they're at. And that is one thing I'm noticing. You're seeing Mikey did a really good job of keeping the momentum of the layers of their previous set. Well, Onabe reset sort of back to layer 1. There's 2 different philosophies of how you want to think about what to do in these mixed situations. But Onabe quickly trying to recatch back up. But these jabs once again are so good for Mikey.
Yeah, no player, these players are absolutely proactive enough to get that punish counter right there. Onabe just spent a lot of cash in the process. Get the Azuna drop and run up. Unfortunately, the pressure ends up in a trade, which means Mikey can take it all back here with a level 3. Not quite dead yet, but this last scenario is going to be very crucial.
Yeah, if it was CA, it would have killed there, but you're like just right outside of that range, so instead, you're going to have to hold it right here.
Oh my god, that was probably the one thing that honestly Onabi was looking for, a big commitment like that, right? We saw Onabi was so low on drive gauge, it probably was behooved of Mike Z to throw some fireballs just to whittle that down a little bit more.
Yeah, and you already have like you have a significant life lead that can only get blown up by like a big reversal thing. And I really think like, just playing that patience with 10 players, they love their aggression, they love their dominance. But Kimberly from Onabe showing the dominance of their own, get tossed, but you missed that whip throw. Jab, jab, DP confirmed, you back there.
And I gotta wonder if Mike C kind of hand over maybe a potential win con by giving the level 3 install. But probably don't matter because Mike C is still playing very solidly here. Try to check low. Jin ride.
Yeah, and finally found the stagger on it with that low counter hit. Going to be able to keep it going. But a jump out gets crouching heavy punch anti-air coming through. And a good check on the drive rush. Finally finding an opportunity to be using that crouching jab to make something big happen here. Keeping that install going as well to make the momentum. But Mike C should be able to kill off this into the level 2. Call that third straight.
Oh my god, yeah, super solid round coming out from Mike C here. And both players have kind of these difference-making plays. Well, one being Mike C on like these jump outs, right? Not able to DP like we saw before, but able to get the crouching fierce. And also at the same time, Onabi is so good at checking these drive rushes here too. So once able to cover the ground, another the air, right? So the rhythm has to be mixed up pretty solidly to trick your opponent.
Which way, Western man? Which way, Western man?
Which way?
The land or the sea here in our grand finals. And a good throw right there, going to make you try to check it. But I need to download Mike C's hands into my own these jabs. They have just been perfectly spaced.
The devil's hands, what was it called?
Don't trust the mark. You can tell the devil by the mark on their hand, and the back of it is just light punch.
And you can tell about the gameplay coming up from Mike Z here, playing very solidly. Stand at the max medium risk bridge from slide in case they do. Never mind, we're going to drive rush in and take our turn back. Onabi getting a reset here with the throw.
And now you see just playing patient once again. Yeah, using the jab to see if they try to go for a cheeky reset, but reset back out to that neutral. And now Mike Z just keeping it calm right now. Finally utilizing OD Fireball. I think it's the first time we've really seen that in these sets that they've played. Like they've been throwing
it paid off too.
Yeah, they're using their fireballs so sparingly compared to I think you see a lot of other Shotos like using it a little bit more aggressively because Ken's tools are so good without it. You don't even necessarily need it.
I think the tricky thing that like Mike Z is doing.
Oh no!
Who was it? Who was it? Oh no, I think it was Onabi. I think it was Onabi. That is so unfortunate. You hate to absolutely see that in Grand, but Mike Z has to take that. That is the rules. And unless your opponent wants to give you grace, and I don't think there's no mercy, no quarter here.
Well, here's the thing: is that Mike Z was able to take that regardless afterwards, and so that would be the one. I don't know if they're figuring out what's going to exactly happen here, or maybe they was just like, yeah, I'm gonna let go of my control and you kill me, play it off. I think they're.
We'll see. The show must go on here.
Yeah, they're just letting it rock. They're like, yeah, like you paused, but I still wanted off these big confirms. We can make it happen here now. Oh, good punish counter with that standing fierce.
Onabi is not shook. Able to still like make some tricky plays here and get the lead here in this next round.
Right. Starts going through, toss him back down to the ground. Check one, and then the drive. Rush came out, but ended up getting countered by that level 1. And I like it from Onabi. Just being like, hey, you're going to do anything, I'm just going to burn my level 1. Right? Level 3s have really only been used for these big confirms to make the comebacks. And you're going to build that meter up over time. But if you can utilize your level 1s as you build that meter so quickly, get an advantage can give you benefit. Look at that, already almost back to 1 point.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see Onabi losing so much on their offense here, which kind of led into the scenario here where we're getting stunned by the drive impact, taking incredible amount of damage. Doesn't get the meaty overhead, but enough to get the reset as we're kind of caught deer in the headlights. Mike Z on game point here at Portland Punish.
Yeah, not wanting to give anything up here. Wants to get that clean 3-0, and they'll find it with that light kick drive rush confirm, and just adding that damage up into the corner, and now putting you in a scary situation. Can throw loose, but a great backdash right there from Onabe. It allows them to reset that neutral once again, but punish counter. Stay over there. This is your home. You live on the East Coast here. This is West Coast territory coming up.
You don't have to apologize because Mike C is going to still give you the hurt here. The Jin Rai kicks coming right out. And I think that's one thing that Onabi is just not ready for, and you're not ready for the jump in either, which means we have our champion here at Portland Punish. It is Mike C with the Shinyu Rappa!
I always love when you end it with the cinematic super. It's not just like, oh,
it feels grandiose.
Yeah,
great climax.
It's the theatrics. It's just what you need for a game as competitive.
And
as
theatric as
huge
Street Fighter 6.
As theatrics as Street Fighter 6 is right now. Look at that. Mikey taking it 3-0 over Onabe here in our grand finals. Congrats to Mikey for winning. And congrats to all of our players for coming out. I do want to thank everyone supporting this event and stuff. We had 90-something people signed up for all of our games, like in combination.
That is a lot.
So that's the most we've had, I think, for an event since before the pandemic. Yeah, and you can see those players are tired. They're like, I'm just trying to get home. I'm just trying to make something happen here. And or they're trying to like make sure their night can still go on. Fighting games aren't everything. You gotta get back home, keep your life alive. But thank you all once again for coming through to the stream for Street Fighter 6. We will see you all next month for Portland Punish.
Yeah, thank you everybody here. I appreciate you hosting a PDX. Everybody, I'll come back very soon. Once again, for Shaw, you know what to do.
And Tabby,
have a good night.
Keep it calm.